Alright, hello, this is going to be Solidworks CSWA practice problem 7.47. If you want to follow along with the video, make sure to follow the link in the description, which will take you to the official Solidworks practice problem database. So let's get started. So let's make sure our units are MGS. Then we'll start a sketch. I guess we'll start a sketch in the right plane, like this, yes. And now we're just going to draw 3 rectangles. It's going to be first one. Its width is going to be 12. And its height is going to be 30. Draw another rectangle connected right to it, whose width is 80. And whose height is 150. And we'll copy the rectangle we just made on the left side, same thing. We'll constrain the top edges to be collinear. And I'll make the bottom edges equal, like so. Should be fully defined. So let's extrude this out. Oh, actually, I'm going to add one more line to the sketch. That line will be connecting these two right here. And then we will extrude. So, first of all, let's extrude the total rectangular extrusion, and that will be extruded by a depth of 12 in the forward direction. So let's select all these contours, the rectangular contour, like this. Select OK. And then we'll do another extrusion. And we're going to extrude the other way. We're going to extrude the other way a distance of 30. So let's change 30. Let's change the extrude direction. And then for the contours, let's select everything on the bottom excluding the rectangular part, like so. Select OK. And while we're here, I'm just gonna put in the chamfer so I don't forget later. So let's go fillet chamfer. It is 10 millimeters, 45 degrees. So I'll just select this edge right here. There you go. Select OK. There's your chamfer. Okay. Now for the teeth part. So let us make a sketch. And we will just make a sketch in the front plane, like this. Let's make sure the plane's in the right orientation. Yes. Yes. Okay. Front plane. Okay. So, we're not given the particular dimensions to start off the sketch from origin, so we're going to have to make a construction line that is going to represent where our starting point will be. So let's just make a vertical construction line, arbitrarily somewhere over here. Vertical. And dimension from this line to this edge, which is constrained with the origin, that distance was going to be 180. And you see this from the front view. And from here we'll begin our first row of teeth. Actually, while I'm here, let's also make another construction line. We'll make it horizontal. And its dimension from origin will be 30. This way I can just keep a constant reference just to make sure that my lines are coincident and at the same height. So we'll begin, I guess first we'll actually begin by making a straight line across like this into a diagonal, and whatever, yes, and this line will end at the 30 mark. We're just going to call this line the 30 mark. So diagonal to 30 mark into a horizontal, into a parallel line. This line and this line are parallel, but not every line follows this rule, so be very careful. So parallel line and a horizontal, and then we'll have a line, but be careful, it's not going to be parallel, so don't let the auto constraint do you over. So kind of exaggerate it a bit so the auto checker doesn't catch you. And a horizontal, actually no, I believe I'm mistaken. No. These two lines actually are parallel. It's this line that's coming up that you need to exaggerate. This one right here, on the second tooth. So this one is, I believe, is not parallel with this line. So I'm going to exaggerate it. So this would be parallel. Where is it? Now that I'm trying to show parallel, now I won't do it. Well, whatever. It's not going to be parallel, so let's exaggerate it. And then we'll do a horizontal line. But then this line will be parallel with the line we just created, like this. Do a horizontal line. And this line will not be parallel, so don't let it be parallel. Let's exaggerate a little bit. Horizontal line. Into a parallel line. I believe there is a pattern to this, but it's an extremely awkward pattern. So be very careful. Okay, we'll stop there. So I think the first order of business is to make this dimension. This and this. What is this? It's 20. But then the most interesting part in the dimensions, in the drawing for the detail A view, it will say 20 typical. Now, what I believe is this means the gap between each tooth is going to be 20, all the same 20, which is why I assumed that these lines are parallel. only from teeth to teeth, those kind of those inner edges. The inner edges of the teeth are parallel to each other. So this top will be 15. This top is also 15. The last top is unknown. So I'm going to put the 20 for each of these, between each of these teeth. And then I'm going to start with the angles. So this diagonal to this vertical angle will be 15 degrees. Now this diagonal right here to this vertical will be 25 degrees. And finally, this diagonal to this vertical will be 35 degrees. And the distance between these two edges will be 10. 10. Oh. And then let's add a constraint. So we make sure all three of these lines are collinear. The bottom, the kind of bottom of the gaps in the teeth, collinear. And the dimension from the bottom of the gap to the very bottom is going to be 12. And there you have your fully defined teeth. Now the only thing you're missing are the fillets, which is why it doesn't look proper. So let's add the fillets, R2 typical. And from the drawing it seems like every single corner is filleted. So we'll do that. And PS, World Cup is going on right now, and it is extremely exciting. Going to watch France versus Morocco tomorrow. And I think Argentina is going to win. So anyway, now we are finished with our R2 fillets, I believe. Are we finished? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. So select OK. Oh, that is very ugly. I want to hide that. How do I hide this? How do I hide this? It's one of these. These. Oh, here we go. Okay. So obviously we have to extrude it this way inward. So select feature extrude, flip the extrusion, and its extrusion depth should be 12. See, it's from the top view, it's perfectly aligned with this extrusion, so it should be correct. So select OK. So now all we need to do is feature mirror whatever we literally just did over to the other side. But, and I'll show you what the problem is, we do not have a plane that's centered along this rectangular extrusion, since we started the extrusion from this corner right here. And that wasn't arbitrary. I was following exactly what it said to do in the engineering drawing, so which is also why it tells you to use geometry planes. So that's exactly what we'll do. I guess first of all, I want to add a point. So I'll select reference geometry. I'm just going to add a point. And I'm going to find a midpoint of this rectangle, because that's where I want my plane to be coincident. Or maybe I don't need one. Let's see if I can make it without it. So first reference. Oh, yes. You can actually select the midpoint of this rectangle in this reference point. So that'll be my first reference. So I think my second reference is going to be this, because I want the plane, no. I want the plane to be perpendicular to that. I want the plane to be perpendicular to this face. Oh, no. It would be better if I actually show the original planes. And then I'll go back to reference geometry, select plane, select the midpoint of this rectangle, so it's coincident. The second reference will be my front plane, and I want it to be parallel. So this is perfect. So we'll select OK. We'll hide the original planes, so only my plane shows up. And finally, we'll go to Feature, Linear Pattern, Mirror Tool, and the plane one's already selected, so that's good. And for the feature, we'll select the last one we just did, Boss Extrude 3, and it should copy over exactly. Select OK. Absolutely perfect. Wow. Okay. Hide the plane. I actually did the fillet or the chamfer on the back already. Thank you, Pastor Alex. So now let's check our answer. And you're going to have 334,529 cubic millimeters for your volume, which is the correct answer. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something, and hope you enjoyed the workout. Alright, see ya.